we may just see as a result of this year an accelerated transition to digital materials, not just to ebooks, but all kinds of materials from gaming to data sets. We may also see an accelerated transition to online services. I mean, I don't know, it just mean for the emergency of spring and summer, but from now on, especially as people get used to the benefits of these. We may also see decreased traffic and usage of library content. Again, all of these have impacts for how you actually operate. We already saw a big battle over copyright when the Internet Archive tried to, or successfully produced a browsing library aimed at the COVID emergency, and lawsuits basically forced that to be taken down. So one more time, we go around the copyright carousel and we have arguments and fights about this. So that's something more to look forward to as we proceed. We have the possibility of libraries, physical libraries, being spaces that we struggle over. This is, I think you've probably all seen this. This was a Twitter thread discussing a public library in Florida, I believe. There's a link to it there, but basically they had a horrendous experience in opening up. Everything from abusive users to domineering managers to outbreaks of disease. So is it possible that we will see library spaces like classrooms become sites that we contest, that we battle over? Should they be open? If so, how should they do so? And then we also have the question of how can we do all this work without losing sight of equity and fairness? How can we do this justly without marginalizing populations, especially populations that are Black and Latino and poor? These are already populations suffering a great deal from the pandemic itself, as well as from the recession. So we have to think hard about how we can act this way. Which does bring me towards my conclusion. A lot of this is challenging. Some of this is very frightening, especially I think some of the trends that are older than COVID continue to exert pressure in ways that threaten our ability to operate and do what we do well. But I wanted to share a couple of positive thoughts that I find kind of haunt me because they cheer me up so. On the right is a screenshot of work from one of my students. This was a student who was taking my spring class in educational technology. She started working, and then in February, she said that she was running into problems with time because she had to worry about her family. Her family is from Hubei province, in fact, in the city of Wuhan. So she was faced with the specter of losing family, friends, and people in her community. In March, late March, she gave birth to her first child. All during this, she was working at a job in Maryland. All during this time, I told her, please take an incomplete. Please do my class later. You have higher priorities. No, she said, and she did good work. My point is, our students are inspirations. Some of our students are heroes, and we should really, really turn to them. We need to hear their stories. We need to learn from their experiences. We need to welcome them into our community as we try to co-create the future of libraries, of colleges, of museums. We need to bring them on board as collaborators to share our visions together. Second, while it's a very common response to threats for us to turtle in, to bring our soft bits under a shell and raise the walls up, we also have the human instinct to look out for help, for collaboration and thoughts. And I think we're seeing this right now, especially through social media. We're seeing people reach out to others in different disciplines, in different professions, in different types of institutions, in different geographies. And I think we can keep doing this. And this is a great way to collectively, openly learn together. And last, but definitely not least, I'm joyously startled that we continue to do this work with an eye on social justice and equity. I think that is one of the great stories of 2020. I think taking all of these together, they give us positive ways to really wrestle with all these trends and build a future that we can be proud of.